Happy Saturday, everyone. This is Tasia from Chiron Divine Readings, and welcome to this week's love reading. So, as you can see, I have my lovely angel love cards here, and there are messages in each of these piles that I am excited to share with you. And I decided to do things a little bit differently with this reading or with these readings, and so I hope that you like it, and if so, please be sure to comment so that I know to continue to do readings like this. And yeah, let's go ahead and just jump into it. So as you can see, we have 3 options here, and we're just getting a sense for, what's happening within our love relationships. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath as always. So inhale. Now exhale. And then select the pile that is calling to you the most. Is it pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3? And then also, at the end of each of the readings, I will be pulling a angel answer card. So start to think of a yes or no question that you may want to ask as it pertains to your person or to this reading. Okay? So I will see you over at the readings, and you can check for the timestamps down in the description box. All right, welcome in pile number 1. This is your reading. So I decided to do some shuffling on camera because why not? And so I have this angel love oracle card to start us off with, and then I have my gypsy oracle cards as well as my prism oracle cards. And so I will be seeing what the message is here, get some clarification here, and then getting some insight on what will help you with the situation and what may be getting in the way. Okay? And then, as I mentioned earlier, I will be pulling an angel answer card. So start to think of your yes or no question. Okay? So to start us off, we have past life relationship. You have known each other before. Okay. So what I'm feeling is that this person that this person that you may be thinking of, or whomever this applies to, is someone that you've known before. So it could be someone that you've met in a previous life, like in terms of like past lives, but also just someone who maybe knew you in a slightly different time period. And so what I'm getting is like potentially someone who maybe you knew in high school, and now you're coming together like in your 30s, or maybe someone who you knew like from a particular type of job that you used to have, and now you're no longer in that field, but you somehow got reconnected with this person. And so understand that this is something really exciting. All right, at least I think so. I guess we'll see. All right, so far we have haughtiness and prison. This could have been someone who was very like prideful, someone who like felt the need to show off, and that may have like turned you off a little bit to them. And what I'm getting is that this person went through some kind of transformation where they've sort of toned that down a little bit. Like they could have actually gone to prison, or they were just sort of like, they were showing off because there were some things happening within them internally that were, causing them to not want to show their true selves. And so they came across as like with peacocking, right? I don't know if you're familiar with it, but like, the male peacocks have like, the brightest feathers, and, they do this to sort of show off to the female. They don't do it. They're naturally, they naturally have colorful feathers, but it's supposed to like be a situation where they're showing off, right? And that's what I'm getting with this person. Like they were someone who was essentially peacocking. They were, sort of showing off, maybe showing their ass a little bit. And really there were some things happening within them that were not good, and it caused them to go through some kind of transition, and now they're in a much more stable situation. They're much more in tune with themselves. They're much more connected to, working through whatever those things were that were holding them back in the past. And again, it could have been a situation where they actually went to prison. And so it's like they had to go through that experience to humble themselves, to find their grounding, to, get stable. And so, you may be connecting with them now at this point where, they're ready to reconnect with you in this current life or in this current stage of your life. All right, very interesting. Okay, so what is going to help you in this relationship? Let's see. Oh, we have these two cards. So we have space and protection. So what I'm feeling is that don't be afraid to set boundaries. Don't be afraid to, be honest about what you're looking for and what you're not looking for. Like, this person maybe knew you from a previous life or knew you from like a previous period in your life, and you may not be that person that you were, today. And so just understanding that, it's okay to sort of put up some boundaries, like, look, we maybe had this situation before, but that's not the case now. Or, I'm not really that type of person anymore. And I need you to respect my boundaries. And just understanding that that's totally okay. All right. So what may be getting in the way? All right. This card really wants to come out. Confidence. Okay. So this person may still be very confident, but it's definitely a stark contrast from like that more prideful type of confidence. Like, and having a good balance is important, right? You don't want to come across as arrogant. And so, like, I sort of see them as like being in more of this arrogant phase here, but now being more confident. On the flip side of that, it could be a situation where maybe you're not feeling confident about the relationship. And so that's definitely something that needs to be looked at, in terms of understanding like why you may be feeling that way, or why that person may be feeling that way, maybe if they have a lack of confidence, and just understanding that it's going to take some time to get reconnected. So don't feel the need to rush into anything. Okay. All right, pile number one. So go ahead and think of your yes or no question. All right, this card. And we have no. So however that resonates for you, the answer is no. Okay, pile number one. So now we will go ahead to pile number two's reading. Hello, pile number two. This is your love reading. So I decided to do things a little bit differently. So we're going to start with these Love Angel Oracle cards, and then I have my Gypsy Oracle cards as well as my Prism Oracle cards to sort of give us a little bit more information about the situation at hand. Okay? And then, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, start to think of a yes or no question that you may want to ask, and then I will pull a card to give you an answer. Okay? All right. So we have make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. All right. Let go of control issues. All right. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. Interesting. So what I'm feeling is that you may have a situation where you're maybe getting to know someone in the relationship, and there's sort of this need on your part to have things go a certain way or have things look a certain way. And what Spirit is asking is that you just sort of allow things to happen unnaturally. Allow things to happen naturally, and don't worry so much about like what it's supposed to look like, and make the effort to actually connect with the person on a human to human level versus looking at the relationship from a like I'm getting like superficial level. So it's more than just like you guys looking cute together. It's more than just having like the matching pajamas and just sort of being like, I'm just sort of seeing like, oh, we have all of these cute things and look at us. Like, it's not about that. It's really about, two souls connecting. And so the more you can connect to that message, the better it will be, and the less control you'll feel that you need to have in this situation. All right, so let's see what these cards have to say. Oh, we have wedding, falseness, and waiting. All right, interesting. So what I'm getting is like, going back to what I was saying a minute ago, like about not having like that superficial type of relationship. It's like with this wedding and falseness, it's like, you may have this like grand idea of like, how it's supposed to be, like, on paper you guys may look perfect, but on the inside it's like, do you really connect with this person? Do you even really know this person? And so like, you don't want to jump into something with them if you don't really know what you're getting into, if you don't really know who they are just yet. And what I'm feeling is that this relationship does have the potential to be something like fruitful and exciting, but if you're so focused on like the optics of it, that's going to take you down a rabbit hole where you're going to be waiting around for love to come back to you because you're so caught up in like how it was supposed to be or how it was supposed to look that you didn't get a chance to really appreciate the relationship for what it was. And so if you want to avoid this waiting, just sort of take your time with this relationship and take your time getting to know the person before you, jump into anything that would seem to be happening very quickly. And granted, we definitely have people who fall in love, at first sight, and that is beautiful and amazing. I don't feel like that's the message for those folks. This is really for the people who are with someone and they just feel the need to control it, or they feel the need to have things look a certain way, or for you to be on a certain timeline. And what Spirit is saying is, look, don't worry so much about the timeline. Worry about the relationship and whether or not, it's going to be sustainable. All right, pile number 2. All right, so what is going to help you? Hunger. All right, interesting. And then what is getting in the way? Intuition. So with hunger, it's sort of like I'm getting like desire, like having that desire. And I feel like that's the thing that's missing from this relationship, desire. Like, you may look good on paper, you may look good together in public, but like, do you really have that desire for each other? Do you long for each other? Do you, really, have that sense of like, I can't wait to see this person because I just want to be around them. Like, that's the thing that I feel is missing. And that's going to be the thing that's going to help you in terms of getting to that deeper connection. The thing that may be hindering you is you not listening to your intuition. Like, you may be so caught up in the optics that you're not seeing what's happening around you. And so your intuition is trying to like give you the red flags, like, hey, like, don't do this. And this may be a situation where you've done this before. Like, I'm getting like, don't do this again. Don't do this again. And so if that is the case, if this seems to be a pattern for you, now would be the time to break that pattern, because otherwise you're going to be waiting for the next person to come around and have to go through that lesson all over again. Okay, pile number 2. So listen to your intuition. It will be your friend in the end. All right, so start to think of your yes or no question. Oh, this card wanted to come out. And the answer to your question is unlikely. Okay, so however that resonates for you as it relates to the question that you just asked, the answer to your question is unlikely. Okay? All right, so that's it for your reading, pile number 2. And now I will start pile number 3's reading. And then there was 3. Okay, pile number 3, this is your reading. And it's funny because we have 3 cards here. And in pile number 2's reading, there were 2 cards. And then pile number 1 had 1 card. I don't know how that happened, but whenever I shuffle, it's just like whatever comes out, comes out. as I am doing my shuffling. So anyway, I'm doing this reading a little bit differently than I've done previous readings. And so we're going to start with the Love Angel Oracle cards, just to sort of give us a sense of what this reading may be about. And then I have my Gypsy Oracle cards to give us some more clarity about the situation. And then my Prism Oracle cards to help us understand, how to best work with the current circumstances. And then, as I mentioned at the top of this video, I will be pulling an angel answer card. So start to think of the question that you want to ask as it relates to this reading/relationship. Okay, pile number 3. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So we have chemistry. There's a strong magnetic connection here. All right. Heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. All right, so what I'm feeling is that, there's someone that you are connected with that, really has the chance to, go the distance. And right now it might be a situation where, you guys are flirting, excuse me. You may be flirting with each other. You may sort of hint at, that there is an interest there, but no one has really taken those next steps to be like, look, do you want to go out on a date? Or look, I like you. And what I'm feeling is that, you need to have that heart-to-heart conversation. It could also be a situation where, it's a best friend that you realize you have some chemistry with and you sort of want to take things to the next level. And so again, you need to be honest with each other. You need to, share your feelings and really, give the relationship a chance. Don't sort of be in this energy of well, they probably don't like me, or, oh, they'll never want to be in a relationship, or whatever the situation may be. As long as you're honest with them and, if this is someone that you truly have some chemistry with and that you feel connected to and that you, trust, why not be open with them, be vulnerable with them, let them know how you feel and see how they respond. Because, sometimes it's a situation where one person wants to say something, but they're worried about how the other person will respond. And so if you're watching this reading, it is your responsibility to make the first move, okay? That is what Spirit is saying for you guys. All right, so let's get some more information here. Interesting, very, very interesting thus far. All right, so we have Soldier. Interesting. This person could be in a military or could have been in the military. Perhaps that's where you guys met. Let's see. This card, Fortune. All right, I like that. So, this being a very fortunate opportunity for you. Perhaps there's an opportunity for you guys to build a fortune together. And constancy. So, with the Soldier card, I'm feeling defensiveness. You see him with his rifle here. I'm feeling this energy of someone sort of having their guard up. And I feel with these heart-to-heart conversations that will sort of disarm them or disarm you as it relates to this relationship. And by doing so, it's you're able to create something really magical. It's going to be something that that is, what's the word I'm looking for? If it's a situation where they have a lot of money, that will be, a good fortune. But I'm also just feeling good luck. This will be a very favorable situation for you that may be some of your previous relationships. And I'm also feeling that it's going to be a very stable relationship. It's going to help to keep you both grounded and find an opportunity to build something together. And so you could be building together financially or building a home together, but I'm definitely seeing this being a really great opportunity for you guys to build. And given that you already have chemistry, it's because you know each other so well is what I'm getting. Whatever you're trying to build, it's going to be that much easier because you already have certain foundational pieces. Now it's just a matter of, being honest with each other and being willing to build with each other, being willing to share your feelings openly than maybe you have in the past. Okay? All right. So, what is going to help you in this situation? All right, this card, comfort. I like that. And then what might be getting in the way? So with comfort, I'm feeling like there is a comfort, like a certain comfort level that you should be tapping into. Like if you are already, close, then again, that sort of puts you at a higher place in the building of the relationship, because you sort of gotten those things out of the way. And so given that you're comfortable with each other, that's something that you should leverage, especially as it relates to your heart-to-heart conversations. Now, some of the things that you need to be mindful of is, there being some potential frustration, but also being mindful about the energy that you're putting into the relationship. Like, with this card, it's saying give your relationship a chance. It's like, just because you may be close or just because you may have this chemistry doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship won't take work. It's like, yes, you have the foundational pieces, but you still have to build together, right? And so the energy that you put into the relationship is what you're going to get out of it. And so making sure that you're putting your best foot forward, making sure that you're doing everything that you can to, make that person feel loved and welcomed. Like, for some people, once they enter a relationship, some of that chemistry may go away. And it's like, don't let that chemistry go away. Like, you have it for a reason. Don't let it just fizzle out, okay? And then also just being mindful of like frustrations, because, sometimes when you date someone that well, like, what their bad habits are, what makes them tick. And so making sure that you're not doing things to sort of piss each other off or not causing any frustration, like really taking the time to talk things out, especially when frustrations do come out, so that you can work through them, as opposed to just being like, what, I knew this wasn't going to work, and then just sort of leave the relationship behind, because then not only did you lose a potential partner, but you also lost a friend. And so it's like, if you don't put in that effort, if you don't sort of work through some of those minute frustrations, then you'll definitely be in a worse situation than when you started. And so again, put in the right energy, make the effort, be honest with each other, and that's what's going to best serve you in this situation. Okay, pile number 3. All right, so now I want you to think of your question that you want to ask as it pertains to this reading or as it pertains to this relationship. Ooh. All right, so I'm going to go with this card that fell. So we have no, and then unlikely was the one that came out. So however that resonates, whatever question you asked, the answer is no/unlikely. Okay? So that is your reading, pile number 3. All right, everyone. All right, everyone. So thank you so much for watching this reading. I hope that one of these messages resonated with you. And if so, please be sure to like this video as well as subscribe to my channel if you are not already, and share this video with others. And also let me know if you liked this style, like with me doing the shuffling on camera, because typically this is what I do off camera, and then I just sort of like shuffle with intention of like pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, but I decided to shake things up a little bit. So let me know if you liked that style in the comments, and I hope that you have a lovely weekend. All right, see ya.